All right, guys, so my 2010 GL550, the rear passenger tire was low on air one day. So I come out, I'm like, okay, probably I ran over nails. I don't know, something like that. It happens all the time. You patch it, you keep it moving. I put air into it, and then just being busy, caught up in other things. It took probably about 2 days for me to get around to taking the wheel off to figure out what's going on with it. So I took the spare out the trunk, and thankfully these vehicles do come with full-size, well, not full-size spares, but spares that are decent enough to get you back on the road if something were to happen. You can't go above 50 miles per hour. Make sure that the tire pressure is good on the spare, because normally it's not, because it sits in there since the day of the purchase, original purchase date of the vehicle, which in this case was correct. It had never been used, and so the tire pressure was low. So hey, just a little tip, make sure your spare has good air according to what is required, and in this case it's 61 psi. Make sure that you have good air in your spare. So I put the spare on. Fortunately, because I have a compressor right here, I added my own air to it to make sure that it was 61 pounds, or psi, pounds per square inch, whatever. So here goes this, the original wheel and tire. Yeah, it's still holding air, right? Pressure didn't go down that much. So it was a slow leak. It took a long time for it to finally get to a point where I noticed that it was low on air. So I expected to find a nail, you know, go around it. Can't find a nail, can't find a puncture. I'm like, And then I look on the inside of the wheel. Let's flip this thing over. Check this out. I can put it down because the tire sticks out more than the rim, but if it doesn't, don't scratch your rim up. All right, here you go. What did I see? This. This is so dangerous. So dangerous. You can get a real bad blowout. Now, my question is, why is it rubbing along the sidewall right here at the edge? Like, why is that happening? It's rubbing all the way around. You can see some of the metal breaking through the tire from the metal, I guess the belt, the composition. It's at that point, you know, it's near having a ruptured or blown tire. Why? I don't know. I'm going to assume it's a camber or an alignment issue, I guess, because the other one doesn't have such wear. It's only this one. So I bought a new tire, and because this tread was not even bad, I'm pissed about that because it had good tread. But you see what's going on here. Now, my wife was driving this truck all over the place a few days ago because her Mercedes was down, because I had to get some lines replaced. It had a oil leak. I had to get some gaskets replaced. It had a brake line that leaked on it. So I had to put that in the shop, so she was driving this one around. And, you know, one day I come outside and I see that the tire pressure is lowered back. And I immediately probably should have took this rim off to see what was going on with this tire. And thankfully, she wasn't. Well, she did drive it again after I put air in it. But that was a risky decision. I should have immediately inspected it and figured out what was wrong. Fortunately, nothing happened, but that can be a life or death matter, because if this had a major blowout on the highway going at high speeds, you don't know how your vehicle's going to react. You know, sometimes you can slow down and gain control and pull out to the side, but sometimes your car goes crazy and you're trying to gain control and then you slide off the embankment or off the road. And that could be disastrous, dangerous, and deadly. So always, well, I'm not going to say always, but try to every so often or routinely check the conditions of your tire. Surely never drive around with a tire that's bald. That's just a disaster waiting to happen. Make sure you have good tread, but also look at, obviously, the sidewall, and make sure that you're having even wear, because uneven wear indicates an alignment issue, and it needs attention. The sooner you correct it, the longer your tires last, and the safer your vehicle is. Yeah, this looks stupid, and I'm not going to drive it with this dorky looking spare on there. It's going to sit right here because I have other vehicles I can drive. But this is something that, you know, you have to take serious when you're owning a vehicle, no matter if it's a Mercedes or a Honda or a Hyundai, you know, or a Daiwa. Do those still exist? I don't know. But whatever you drive, make sure that the conditions of your tire are up to par and up to standard. And if that needs to be corrected immediately. Everybody's money is not, does not enable them to buy a new tire, but they have used tires that are in good shape. I don't want to endorse or be an advocate for you buying used tires, but that is a reality. That's why used tire shops exist, because there are people who cannot afford a $200 to $400 tire out of nowhere. It wasn't an expected replacement or expenditure. So sometimes you have to do what you have to do, temporarily get you to that point where you're able to take care of your financial affairs. A used tire you can get for $35, $25, depending on what kind of tire or size tire that you're looking for. In this case, these are 21-inch rims, and so they require a little bit more money spent for a comparable tire. Fortunately, there are brands that you can get cheaper, but again, it's up to you. Whatever your pockets call for. This is a 295/40/21. Just make whatever decision is best for you and your situation. Get a new tire is always the best thing, and that's what I did. I bought a new tire for this one. It should be here in a few days. I typically buy my tires online, and then I have an installer who will put the tire on for $25. People sell these extended warranties and all this kind of protection stuff for these tires, but at the end of the day, if you're able to get those tires replaced and swapped out for free, for a fair price, and you're able to control removing your rim, as I did here, dropping the rim off, having them put a tire on, come back home, put it back on yourself, you can save a lot of money. If your situation doesn't call for that, it is what it is. Do what's best for you. But in my case, I try to shave off as much money as I can. It's cheaper for me to buy the wheel or the tire online than for me to take care of getting it installed. I don't, the peace of mind warranty, I don't care anything about that. Things happen. I'd rather just take my chances and enjoy my vehicle and not spend the extra money unnecessarily, because if you don't utilize that warranty, then it was a waste of money. So anyways, I don't need that in my life. I try to shave off as much money as I can so that I can use that money to do other things, other advantageous expenses. So, all right, here we go. So I'm putting this thing back, man. I'm waiting for the tire to come. And when I do, like I said, I just drop this bad boy off and move on to the next issue that I know I'm going to have. Owning a lot of vehicles, there's always going to be issues. Owning one vehicle, there's going to be issues. So the more cars you own, the more issues you're going to have. You got to be prepared for that. You got to find roundabout ways to be able to effectively maintain and take care of unexpected situations. So that's what I do. All right, guys, I'm out. Remember, check your spare. Make sure you have enough tire pressure in there, because you never know when you might need it. All right? It's an ugly sight, but it's a beautiful sight at the same time, because it's all about safety. All right? So make sure your spare is good. Things happen. All right? If it can happen, it will happen at some point or another. All right, guys, take care of yourself and be safe. That's my advice for the day. Y'all take it easy. Peace out.